Okay. Oh, let's see. So let's see if I look at this closely. So if it was an apple, how would I? Okay. So let's see. You have to look at it like plain. So you take this. So if I turn it down,
Miles Morales says hi, Master.
hello, what's going on? What's going on, man? And then I have to look at it.
Miles Morales says it's going on.
Okay. That's alright. Alright, sure. It's just nothing really wrong with it. It's just mostly random. And
Miles Morales says 2 likes this time, haha.
okay, so the plane, if the light is coming from this side, so like it's too bright though. So yo, hold on. I think maybe more darkness. I'm doing a study. Okay. And then I think alright. And then shape it a little bit more. A little bit there. Now I need to get there's certain things you can yeah. Maybe I should do it in sections. More like this. So sections like this. Okay. bounce like this. That. Hello. Hello. How goes it? Hey. Hey, Lev. Hey, Lev. What are you doing, hon? Hey,
The wild artist says I'm okay. Teach how you doing.
I'm doing okay, hon. Just, just trying to, just trying, just trying to figure out this techniques. I'm trying new shading and painting techniques, and then after we'll play Peak. Let's see, like my mods want to play Peak for some reason. Let's see. And, it has some 3D aspects, but it's lacking in commitment, I believe.
The wild artist says I love doing the shadow ball practice.
Shadow Ball. Yeah.
The wild artist says I can do any shape.
Good. So you've been focusing on your forms, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
No, thank you for the likes.
Yes.
And with this, trying to no, it's looking more this way. And then this, more, even more brighter. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just slide right over. You can see my work.
Yes. We're getting somewhere with this. I believe I have. Yes.
We're getting somewhere with this.
think it needs to be more darkness here.
Yes. Yes.
This side should be the darkest.
Yes.
What is this? Studies.
Okay.
And now I need to okay. Rotate this.
Thank you for the likes. I do appreciate it. Don't think I'm not looking at that.
Yes.
This should be a group separation. Okay. Cool. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'll go. Thank you so much for the likes. I do appreciate it over there on YouTube.
Yes.
And TikTok. I wish it was on YouTube though. So. I think there's a like button.
Yes.
Emma R says hi teach. How are you?
Hello, Emmy.
Yes.
Hello, hope you're doing okay as well. Practicing, or if you haven't been practicing, I hope at least you have time to. If you can't,
The wild artist says, what are you drawing?
I'm doing a
Yes.
light and shadow form study on an apple.
Emma R says, I've been too busy to draw.
It's okay. I know life gets in the way. Okay. So how's life been going for you anyway? Hopefully positive. Same thing for your brother. Things is going well for him as well. And then
Emma R says, yeah, everything has been fine for me.
that's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I love hearing that.
I think. Okay. So the light is coming this way. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yes.
Oh, this light is actually brighter. That's redundant.
Let me see.
Oh no. Oh no, that whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. Alright, let's see.
My frustration. Time for tech girlies, something we can all relate to.
Ever wondered what Roblox employees eat every day?
Oh, I certainly have. I mean, that was on the top of my list of things I was thinking about today. What do people at Roblox eat? Who are these people? In fact, I'm gonna go get drunk. Hold on. That's what's up. Okay, I'm ready.
Well, today I'm visiting my cousin Gary, and I'm about to experience the tech bro life myself. We started with their in-house cafe, which serves fancy lattes and even matcha, so I ended up getting the strawberry matcha, which was so good.
I don't even know what matcha is. That's how underprivileged I am. And I'm sure someone will tell me, or Ludwig will edit in a definition of what matcha is. But it's something I'll never have in my life. With all the crap going on in Roblox, it's amazing that they have this spread. But then again, this explains why Roblox is the trash fire it is.
Wait, Roblox? Oh shit, she works at Roblox? Is it that big? I know a lot of kids are on that game. I guess a lot of people's on the game. I didn't know the game is that popular. It almost looks like it's like the second Fortnite.
I tell you what's going on. There's like pixelated sexual encounters happening on Roblox.
Are you serious?
Roblox. You can't even, dude. It's things you wouldn't expect going on in the platform. It's going on, but at least the staff has matcha.
And then we went up to their buffet-style cafeteria, which had the classic salad and sandwich bars, plus house-made soups.
Brightroclose says good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, bro.
Hold on, I was drinking. I'm rewinding. Did I just see house soup?
And then we went up to their buffet-style cafeteria, which had the classic salad and sandwich bars, plus house-made soups.
Look at this. That looks so scrumptious. Look. Oh my god, I just ate Wendy's. It tastes like I was eating a fat little rat. With a bad.
That little rat.
A piece of Swiss cheese and a very depressing slice of bacon.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Ever feel like you're stuck in a habit you don't even think about? Maybe it's something you reach for during stressful moments. Satisfying paper for that alternative view to their day. And right now, Hundo, you'll get a free foot on the screen, bro.
And they even have stations with rotating menus, and today was Japanese-style cuisine. The most shocking part was they have a dedicated stone-fired pizza station.
What is with these tech companies, bro? All of them have these insane spreads, and everything costs us so much. Why don't they get rid of all of this? Like, you know what? My last job, we had nothing. They had a cafeteria which made no sense because nobody cooked. And it was literally like, if you're hungry, you better bring food from home, or you could buy something from the vending machine. And they only gave you a short break, so you had to run to go buy Wendy's, ironically.
Another thing is Roblox is serious about their employees' health, so their drink fridge was packed with tea, vitamin waters, fresh juices, and smoothies, plus snacks like dried fruits, protein bars, and yogurt.
I'm losing my mind. I can't keep going. I can't keep doing these, dude. They have bangs in Roblox. And I'm gonna edit that out, but seriously, the fact that like that sort of stuff exists on it. And meanwhile, the people who work there are getting fresh pastries, healthy food. Roblox isn't even any good, but apparently it makes money. You know, I also had my identity stolen for some Roblox using piece of garbage.
Piece of garbage.
Obey my dog!
But as the pastry chef, you know I was here to judge the desserts. My mind was blown. They had bakery quality dessert. I expected cookies or brownies, but this was next level.
I can't keep going. I'm losing my mind. Bakery quality, look, what? I've never eaten anything like this in my life. I've never come close to anything this good looking. It looks like food where people care about you. God, YouTube sucks. I bet if I went to like the creator's stupid con, they wouldn't give me a dessert made like this. They probably would have kicked me out. I'd be hanging out with Plain Rock screaming at Dream.
Now I finally get why
Brightroclose
everyone wants to be a
says
tech
lol.
bro. Roblox is not just for kids, it's for adults too.
As I drank myself into a
I don't
stupor,
know about
hoping
that one, bro. I don't know about that one. I like, okay. I know people say there's adults playing Roblox, but I just look at that game and I'm like, God, It actually makes more Fortnite look a little mature. I'm not jumping on no one. I'm not jumping on anyone who likes Roblox. I'm not saying that. Not in the slightest. I'm just saying if you play Roblox, I'm not judging you too much, but if you play Roblox, that's fine. Even if you're an adult, I don't give a fuck. Because there's a lot of adults playing like Fortnite still to this day. Um, but you know, I don't know. I just look at that game. I'm like, I don't know. This looks like it's built for exact. Roblox looks to me exactly what the censorship problem looks like to me. It looks like where kids should be and stay where they should be. Like the thing I don't understand with the whole censorship problem is this. Why should I censor a bunch of adults when you can just make alternative websites of the same website, right? So let's use an example. If we have like YouTube and kids have to verify their age or whatever case may be, don't even have like YouTube for the kids. Don't have them do that. Just have them go on YouTube Kids. And that's the whole fucking point of like the YouTube Kids thing. Put the stupid kids over there. You know what I'm saying? TikTok have a childlike version of TikTok, like a TikTok like version for kids, kids only. You know what I'm saying? Just have. It makes sense. But like the point is like I don't understand this. If isn't it best just to make a kid friendly version of the same website so you don't have to like berate adults who don't have kids or have kids who wants to be on their platforms in peace without no stupid kid problem being on it?
Brightroclose says don't most things have a parental control or someone?
That too. They usually do. But for some reason, our political parties pretend like that doesn't exist for some odd reason. It's weird. What is the point of the kids app? Like, what is the point of the YouTube Kids app if I have to verify my age on the YouTube app? It almost defeats the entire purpose of that existence. Have an Instagram version for kids. Have a TikTok version for kids. You know what I'm saying? Like TikTok has no problem having lemonade, right? So just have a TikTok version for children. I don't see why you have to censor a bunch of adults who don't have no stupid ass kids. I'm like literally like fuck them kids. I'm on that plane. Fuck them kids. Put them on their own website. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to me. That shit is dumb.
Pass out again to sleep. It's adult daycare. I'm starting to hate tech workers. This is why they're all so bubbly and they're okay. How's your channel doing? It's doing worse with your help. You.
Here's a day in the life working at Google as an account strategist in LA.
Oh, yes, an account strategist at Google. I don't even know how I've done this one. There's so many women that work at Google that drive expensive cars, a Mercedes with a Chanel bag in the passenger seat. This is in California, no less.
Got to the office at 8:30 this morning. Look how cute my passenger princess bag is.
Yes, the bag is so cute. You know, I woke up today and I thought to myself, oh my God, the only thing that could bring me back from the depths of this depression is seeing a woman with an expensive Chanel bag in a Mercedes Benz.
I had just enough time to secure a conference room and take my first meeting of the day. Here's a quick fit check before I head to breakfast. These are all the juice options for today, and look how delicious these donuts and muffins look. I'm on a diet, so I grabbed an OJ and an oatmeal with some fruit and brought it to my desk so I could do some work.
Pineapple basil infused water.
And I wanted a change of scenery, so I filled up my water, grabbed a coffee from the coffee shop.
These women just, I swear to God, they just love filming themselves going to these jobs where it's the most relaxed, laid-back spot ever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Isn't it against some form of policy to be recording outside and inside the premises of your so-called job? I just thought of that just now. Isn't that usually against terms of service for you to be working at that job and recording up in that bitch? Especially like a place like Google, who probably are working on a bunch of tech shit that they don't want to be seen. Now, I know she's not showing anything crazy, but like the fact she's even filming in the facility in the slightest. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But literally, I'm on that fuck them kids type energy. I don't give a fuck. Them kids are not stupid. They should be. You and I mean, that's not even the kid's fault. It's the parents' fault. These are why are you not policing your kids? Police your kids, bro. Police your kids. Why do I have to be punished because you stupid ass can't take care of your kids? Don't have kids. A lot of people should not have no fucking kids. I think you should have. I think literally, I'm dead serious. For you to have kids, you need to have a driver's license. You need to be fucking married. You need to have a job that makes a certain amount of money, and I mean a certain amount, like past 60,000. And I know what you guys are gonna say, but if that happens, not a lot of people will have children. Good. Good! A lot of them should have no fucking kids! I tell you right now! Like, some of you have parents, and you know some of your parents, your own parents shouldn't have had you because you know, like, they're horrible people. Dead straight up. Let's be honest for what it is. I'm not even playing this game. You know this. You have uncles, aunts, cousins, brothers, sisters who's a certain age who have children, and you know they're not ready to have no stupid kid. Actually, they still have kids, and you still think they're not smart enough to have kids, but they're still having kids. So yeah, I believe that should be a thing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
And you know they get the job because it's a woman, and they want to focus on giving women jobs, women and minorities. So white guys and Asians are kind of screwed, even though Asians are a minority. But I don't make the rules, right? And then you have these chicks getting these jobs, and they treat the average guy who's pretty much barred from getting the job in the first place like he needs to level up his life. Oh my god, I need a man at my level. I need a man who has a Chanel bag and his Mercedes for the job that he's overpaid for where he barely does anything. And he has vitamin-infused water for free.
Which I love that Google has free coffee and decided to do some work from this gorgeous park.
Google gives her free coffee. They take 45% of my revenue while treating me like a slave. What a treat.
The space is stunning to work from. Then I headed to lunch and it was chicken adobo, which was a 10 out of 10. And now I'm going to use the rest of my lunch break to go on a walk because it's beautiful outside.
Chicken adobo? I haven't even heard it. It's like a Pokemon.
Wait,
you need to do a couple
adobo?
walks, honey. You got some thick legs.
Wait, and chicken adobo? And chicken adobo seasoning?
Now it's time to work for the rest of the day. Follow for more.
No, I'm never following you again. Now it's time to work. I bet you're going to bust your ass. She's probably going to leave that job at like 3 p.m. coughing and wheezing because working at Google as a tech worker is like being a coal miner. She's going to have the tech equivalent of black lung. Oh, my vitamin-infused water. It didn't help me on my walk. I'm going to need a whole risotto chicken to help me get through the day.
I want to throw myself out a window. I can't keep doing these tech girl videos. Okay, let's go.
Creating the life of a tech girly working and living in Silicon Valley.
Ah, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley, there we go.
Valley.
There it is.
Yes,
Silicon Valley. Where all this bullshit started. Yep, Silicon Valley should have never did the shit they did.
I got up today working from home and attended early morning meetings. Then I went for a walk with my sister and got ready for the day. This is the outfit.
Oh my god. You could tell.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think some of them families, those parents do that. They do actually do that. They have a bunch of like 8+ kids or a higher amount that they know they shouldn't, and they're kind of hoping that one of these little fuckers will become something, and then they can live off that little shit. I'm dead serious. They do think some of them do that. Some of them. I don't say all, but a good amount of them do that. They hope that if they have like, I don't think they're actually planning on doing that because 9 times out of 10 they don't even plan for the child or children half the time. They just kind of like look at the kid and be like, well, you're here with your other brothers and sisters who I just tolerate enough, but you seem different from the rest. So I'm hoping that this one becomes something. Whether it's the oldest one, the most youngest one, or the most middle child one, or somewhere in the between. One of you are going to become something. Or at least, I wouldn't say the word famous, but one of you are going to be at least more successful than the rest. Somewhere down the line.
Tell she's pushing 40, still trying to be cute and funny.
I decided to work at a cafe, but change of plans, it was too crowded.
Could you imagine how into yourself you have to be to film like it's a documentary? It's like some big behind the scenes. This is the problem with a lot of these tech chicks. They have main character energy and they're passengers in their own lives. which makes the whole thing this weird sort of shit Truman Show that I'm being forced to watch for the amusement of others who just want to see how long does it take before he goes over the edge and goes crazy, man.
I picked up In-N-Out for lunch instead and got my usual, a hamburger with everything on it. Always hits the spot.
Yeah, show me you're cute, do a little dance, eat your hamburger. Because that's what everybody does in their car.
Then I went back home to work for the rest of the day.
Like your hands look all dry. Like they've never seen moisturizer ever. Which I'm sure they see moisturizer often. It's just like you can't moisturize your way out of being 40 plus.
And after work, I ran some errands, restocked on my favorite noodles at the groceries.
Oh, that's Whole Foods.
And ended the night binge watching Love Island.
I really need
He got her!
Thank God the night
He got her! Right? What's up, Bob? It's a Gundam. That's his name. This is one that shows up on Dr. Phil, becomes famous, picks up baby. But then you said he has 2 kids and go eats Pokemon cards.
Ended on Love Island? What? That show is garbage. It is literal brain rot.
I'm not gonna lie,
Love
it
Island
is.
is one of the worst things.
I like it. It is. Love Island is a horrible show. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's brain rot. It's junk food. I know because I watched it with the girlfriend, and that shit was not fun. Like, it's not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know if he's talking about the American version or the British version. My girlfriend likes the British version because she claims that they don't talk over each other compared to the Americans. The Americans just talk over each other like crazy. So, like, yeah. But they're pretty much the same. Horrible people. Very self-absorbed individuals, you know. It's crazy. I don't know.
Today we're talking about Pedro Pascal, who was once considered...
Okay, let's see what this is gonna go. So, I don't know who this guy's name is. His name is Darth Fader. F-A-D-E-R. Darth Fader. He's fading away. Anyway, so he says, how Pedro Pascal suddenly became the hated by everyone. Because he's been pushed in everyone's face like no one's business. That's usually what it is, so.
Considered to be the perfect, wholesome, nice guy of Hollywood, but now he's getting hate from pretty much everyone, to the point where he's literally getting cooked alive on social media with posts that are receiving tens of millions of views and a crazy amount of engagement. When I first heard about the hate, I was initially shocked. I mean, to me, Pedro has always been a good indicator for whether or not a show would be good. I know we can all agree when I say this, but whenever Pedro joins a show, it's always a guarantee and a strong indicator that the show is going to be good. And whenever he leaves a show...
it's not. No, it's not a guarantee that it's going to be good. Because it's either big or it's going to be a flop or it's going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's going to be like, it's a 50-50. 50-50. If we're talking about his acting, fine to a degree. But then again, that's not a great indicator that it's going to be good.
Well, that's always a... sorry guys, I just got jump scared there for a second, but like I was saying, whenever he leaves a show, well, that's always been a strong indicator that the show is pretty much guaranteed to fall off a cliff. Now, I'm gonna be brutally honest here for a second, but what the fuck is this? And this is not coming from a place of ignorance. I know this is from The Last of Us show, and even though I've never watched it, I've played the games before, but is this really what a clicker's supposed to look like in a show? Because to me, this is the face of a special needs terminally ill kid whose make-a-wish was to appear in a TV show. But even though I was initially shocked by the massive hate that Pedro seems to be getting recently, part of me gets it. I mean, when Hollywood is literally spamming your cheeks in every single high-production movie and TV show that's been coming out these past few years, it's going to cause fatigue.
A lot of people, myself included, are tired of seeing Pedro Pascal and everything.
And here's the thing, guys, you know something's wrong when you've literally got 3 movies showing in theaters right now that have Pedro Pascal as the main lead.
You guys come to AMC.
A lot of people are tired of seeing Pedro in pretty much every single high production movie that's released in the past few years. But when there's fatigue, hate, and more often than not, needless hate follows. But to say that the only reason that people are hating on Pedro Pascal is because they're tired of him would be intellectually dishonest. Because this is nothing new. Actor fatigue has always been a thing. We've seen it with Tom Holland. We've seen it with Jack Black. I mean, I remember when it got announced that...
I'm surprised he didn't mention, what's her name? Fuck, she's from, Euphoria. What's her name? She was in Shake It Up. Zendaya, there we go. Fuck. She was everywhere, too. She still kinda is. She couldn't just, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we ever make a movie about Zendaya, starring Zendaya, featuring Zendaya, and just Zendaya. and the villain will be Zendaya. The hero will be Zendaya. The parents will be Zendaya. The kids will be Zendaya. You know what I'm saying? The background characters will be just Zendaya. Shit.
Jack Black would be in a Minecraft movie?
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Bruh, I remember seeing this and saying to myself, wow, a man's really put on a blue shirt and said, fuck it, I'm Steve now. But the Jack Black or Tom Holland fatigue never resulted in actual hatred, but more so in memes. Whereas the Pedro Pascal hate is on a whole new level. That's right, in today's video, we are addressing the real reason as to why Pedro Pascal seems to be getting a lot of hate, why a lot of people are labeling him as a creep, whether or not all of the hate is warranted, and we are investigating huge misinformation campaigns on both sides of this situation. For example, we've got funny memes such as this one, cooking Pedro Pascal, but even though they're funny as fuck, unfortunately, they're not factually true. And we've also got mentally challenged people who are assuming that Pedro Pascal is gay, and who are saying that if you're gay, it's okay to be handsy with people of the opposite gender. As someone who's got no horse in this race,
no, actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna blame females on that one. I'm going to literally blame females on that one. I'm not even kidding to a degree. Because I don't know if you guys remember this, there's a video, I don't know if all of you even seen it before, but there's a video of a white guy pretending to be on the opposite side of the fence, if you get what I'm saying. And I think he's on a trip with a bunch of other females. There's no other males that I see in the video. And the white guy says, because he has the phone, and he's pointing to himself, and he says, as a form of selfie, he says something like, going to bed with the ladies, like in a very, you know, feminine way, right? To indicate to everyone, based on his the way he speaks, that he's not interested in the opposite gender, right? And then all the girls in the background, because they're camping and they're all in the same tent. It's just him and like 6 or 7 other girls. It's one of those big tents, right? He says he's going to bed, good night, ladies, or something like that. And all the girls say good night. And then he pulls the camera a little closer to her face where they can't really hear him. And he deepens his voice. He's like, well, I'm not on that fence though. And he ends the video. I'm like, y'all ladies gotta stop letting this happen, because there are dudes who are so down bad that they're willing to pretend to be on the opposite side of the fence to see you guys in the buff. I'm dead serious. And then some of you guys let these men follow you a little bit because he wants to prove a point, like a James Charles or something, and you guys think because he's not interested in you in that way, therefore it's okay. That's why people are saying this about Pedro Pascal. It's a bypass. Yeah, he's an undercover individual. I seen this happen. There's dudes who do that. They'll go beyond.
Close says true.
They're so beyond down bad that they'll pretend to be on the other side of the fence just to see you either be in a quote unquote bathing suit at a slumber party, if you get what I'm saying, because you girls sometimes invite them to your slumber parties, right? And they're very good at it. And they're not, and then it's not even that hard to do it too, because all you have to sound is very effeminate. That's it. That's it. And so y'all just run with that, and that's perfectly fine. You guys do not vibe check this individual in the slightest. And sometimes that's not even good enough, because if you ask them, oh, I want you to I don't know, make out with another dude just to prove it. Some dudes will do that just to see you still naked. You don't know, bro. You don't know how bad the male
Miles Morales says, Master, what are you yapping about?
It's just insane to me. It's just insane to me. Y'all are too forgiving on that. You guys, that is dangerous as fuck. That's why segregation is sometimes needed. Not all the time, but those are those one moments where you girls gotta stop letting that shit happen. That's why. Why do you think? Well, I can't say that because that's gonna cause trouble. But you guys gotta be careful, because that dude, it happens.
Close says sometimes yes.
It's insane.
Miles Morales says master.
So yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah, what's good? Yeah, I tell you, like, and the thing is, they don't have to get to the point where you guys are like kind of like slumber partying or anything. Sometimes some dudes just get off at the fact of holding your hand. So like him saying, "Let me look at your nails, Pedro Pascal. Let me see your nails and hold your nails." That's enough for him. That might be enough for him to be at that climax level, if you get what I'm saying. That could be just good for him. But
Miles
another dude
Morales
might
says,
go
what are you
further
talking
than that.
about?
Then that is what it is. So you gotta be paying attention. I'm not going back on that whole explanation. I'm sorry. You should have been paying attention, Miles. I'm sorry.
Is that Pedro seems to be giving a lot of people the heebie-jeebies because of how sus he acts with other actors in real life. Take this clip, for example.
I've been busy. I know, baby.
Answering questions about you.
You can't believe me alone that long. That's a little too long, baby.
We need it.
Come on. Very codependent, very codependent.
Now, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah,
when
and
I first
that
saw this
too.
clip, I was actually really
That
happy for
too,
Pedro.
right there.
I mean, I was like, my man's
he was quick to say the terms that we now we're more familiarized now in these times because we listen to psychologists say these things. But they say very codependent. He turned very fast to say that.
Miles Morales says, sorry, I just joined.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's too long of an explanation again. I'm sorry, but like the problem here is that he can say that because
Miles Morales says, I came back from eating.
I'm sorry about that, bro. So like the point is this is like he came back. He turned his back quickly and says codependent, very not antisocial. What is it? Very anxiety driven. Something some buzz term about his mental health, right? So when he says that, it indicates to everyone that he's on, I want to say the word spectrum, but he's on that codependency.
Brightroclose says, Miles, we're talking about Pedro.
We're talking about Pedro, but it's a whole long story to get into. But like, he's saying codependency, so he's letting us know that he needs that.
Miles Morales says at Brightroclose, oh okay.
So that's where that problem comes in, and that's where these people are not going to question it because there's so many of him that exists. They will excuse his behavior because he's not being a creep. He's just anxiety driven. He just needs codependency. He needs reinsurance. He needs to hold his hand. You see the problem here? No, bro. And because he acts a bit effeminate, therefore he can bypass all of these problems. If he was anything close to like a Rock, a Keanu Reeves, a very stoic individual, Keanu Reeves, The Rock, let's say, what's his name? What's his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name. Or like an Idris Elba. If there was any of these three men, or even Johnny Depp, even if these three men did exactly what he did without even saying that or acting like this, they would be canceled. That's crazy.
Aging gracefully, he's got a baddie for a wife, and he got a kid that's popping out.
Miles Morales says, so you're saying he is acting like this on purpose?
Yes, we are all suspecting that this is all manufactured for him to do this. That's what everyone's expecting. And it seems like he only does it with women only. He does not do it with men. He does it with women specifically. And it's been a bunch of videos of him holding women, touching their hand, touching their face, always holding them. And some of them seem a little bit uncomfortable. Others allow it to happen, but it just seems too prevalent. If he was a normal male,
Brightroclose says even Bella?
I believe so. No, I don't know. I don't think there's any videos of him touching her, but there's usually grown women. I don't hear anything about. I think no, she's in her 20s now. I believe she's in her 20s. I think early 20s, mid 20s. I would say early 20s. But I have not seen anything about Bella Ramsey's. I don't know.
Vanessa Kirby is actually engaged to someone else. Now, with all this new context in mind, let's watch the clip again.
Where have you been?
Brightroclose says, yeah, she's older than she looks.
But calling another man's
Yeah,
wife,
I think
or
most
another man's
cases
partner
when they
baby,
have a character play a younger character, they're usually in their 20s. They have to like look very like young for them to play the character. So if there's like any crazy scenes, they're actually a person of they're actually 20 years old. They're not really X, Y, and Z. So like I think like I don't know if the kids from Victorious was in their 20s. I'm pretty sure they were, or even, yeah, I think they was in their 20s. I don't think they was teenagers. I think they was in their late teens, early 20s when they was playing as high schoolers. So yeah.
Or touching another man's partner's pregnant belly. That's definitely normal. I mean, who hasn't done that before, right, guys? Let's cut the crap. Unless you're a proud supporter of the CLM movement, which is short for Cucks Life Matter movement, I know we can all agree here when I said that at the very least, this is kinda sus. But one clip is not nearly enough for anyone to draw any kind of conclusion. For all we know, this is just a funny coincidence, or a cucksidence, if you would. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have to see more before forming any kind of opinion. But that is where this second clip comes in.
See? You see?
Bro, why is my man's acting like the baby's his? I don't know if you guys caught it, but my man literally reached for the pregnant belly a second time here. Like I said earlier, I've got no horse in this race. And you know what?
Brightro says bro.
Man, so you know, maybe him reaching down on her pregnant belly a second time here.
Yo, I'm telling you
maybe
right
that was
now,
just a misinput.
we're fighting. But if I was that man's wife, if I was that man's husband, I'll be fighting this man almost instantly. I will make a big stink about this. I will not allow this to happen. Because if I don't say anything, everyone's going to, I'll be the next Will Smith. I'm dead serious. Everyone, any man who's allowed this to happen was Will Dafoe, or that dude, or this chick's husband, or any other woman. If you allow this to happen, people are going to clown the shit out of you. You better stop this now. Stop this now before it gets bad.
Brightro says his emotional support women.
Emotional support women.
So you know, maybe he meant to touch her hand instead, to grab her hand. Which leads to my second question. Why is he reaching down for her hand? And not only that, but it gets even worse. Not only is he reaching down for
Miles
her hand,
Morales
but
says he's married.
Her arm with his tongue.
No,
I don't care who
she
you
is.
If you're
No, she is though. I believe she's married. She has a baby by some dude. Yeah, I think they're married.
Man, and you've got a wife, and your wife's pregnant belly is getting touched by another man twice, and is getting called baby by another man, and is getting her arm caressed by another man's tongue, then you're crashing out. And you've got every right to crash out. And if you're not crashing out,
Brightro says not him, she is.
Watching this video right now, I know we can all agree here.
He's not married, she is. Just let everyone know if I said that weird. She's the one married. He is
Miles
not.
Morales says, oh god.
When I said that, if you've got a husband and your husband's pregnant belly's getting touched by another girl and is getting called daddy in front of your face, you're gonna rage.
Yes, a bitch will. Yeah, I get serious. A bitch will lose her mind. It was the other way around. A bitch will lose her mind. I'm dead serious. You will be. Oh man, murders everywhere.
Getting NTR'd, and you do not want to get NTR'd. Now we're all smart around here, right? So let's use our critical thinking skills for a second. These two clips I just showed you that are going viral right now and are supposedly portraying Pedro in a bad light, they are taken from a venue that was promoting the new Fantastic Four movie. So obviously, there's always the possibility that Pedro and Vanessa were just getting in character portraying Reed and Sue, and they were just engagement farming for marketing
Miles
purposes.
But says, why is he doing that?
For a second, guys. I understand that if you're going to date an actress in real life, you have to accept the reality.
The reason why he's doing what he's doing is because he's too damn affectionate, and a lot of, I guess, I don't know if it's Hollywood themselves or these women just allowing this to happen because they suspect he's on the other side of the fence. So they're just kind of like allowing it to happen, or because he says he's some form of anxiety-driven, codependent individual because, I don't know, he's a grown 50-year-old man. Remember, he's 50. This man's 50. He's not in his 20s. He's not in his 30s. Shit, he's not even in his late 40s. This dude is 50 years old. Remember this. And he needs codependency and all that shit. You know, bro, if you need some codependency and shit, get a fucking wife. Ain't that what that's for, pretty much, to a degree?
Of things. Reality being that your actress girlfriend might have to kiss another actor on set for a movie, and you have to be okay with this. Take Zendaya, for example. Remember when she got turned into a sandwich in that one movie? Just for people to...
In a bit, we gotta get this out of the way first. we was clowning the fuck out of Tom Holland on that one. That was crazy. That was crazy. We was really making fun of Tom Holland on that one. Oh shit. Yeah. No, I said in a bit.
meme Tom Holland and say stuff like, this is how Tom Holland must have looked like when you saw that scene with Zendaya. And I also remember people saying, oh, Tom Holland needs to star in a movie with a hot girl to get back at her.
No.
Just for Tom
no,
Holland to
actually... Okay, so like, it's actually quite the opposite. While she was becoming a sandwich, he became someone... he became somewhat sandwich. He wasn't eating the sandwich, he was the sandwich.
Miles Morales says, oh dear God.
that was right after the fact. That was not good for Spider-Man. Every time I that meme comes up, I just think of that that one other meme with I think you guys remember, if you guys seen it before on Instagram. It's that gift of Spider-Man in the sewer, and there's like what do you call it? The lizard, I forgot his name. The lizard who's like right behind him, and he's like, it's a 3D GIF effect, but it keeps going back and forth like this, and you can see Peter look like he's getting it.
That's with the forbidden jutsu and get his slapped by another man's, and you smash like a
Retroplos says teach no.
If this and this happened to you in real life. Memes aside, what I'm trying to say is that there's a big difference between having to kiss another actor on set for a movie and doing whatever the fuck this is.
These are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah. As long
That
as
was
you
our
don't
very
have to see,
first day
as long
as
as
well.
you don't have to see.
I'm about to crash out. Yo, if my wife robbed another man's neck, you wanna know what I would do? I would do whatever this dog in Minecraft did.
What? Blow up!
This is what I would do. I have seen some people coping on social media saying that
Crashoutric says WSP bro.
That there's nothing wrong with this, and that
Miles Morales says what even is this?
Mentally challenged? If you're a grown adult watching this video right now, and you've got a friend who's married, who's got a husband or a wife, doesn't matter, I dare you to go rob your friend's partner's neck and see what happens. Because I guarantee you that this is what would happen. And we have to remember that Chris Rock and Will Smith used to be friends, and one harmless, maybe tasteless joke was enough to completely shatter their friendship. Now, I really hope I'm not reaching here, but I'm pretty sure that seeing your wife rub another man's neck, that has to be way worse than a joke. But it gets even worse.
Terrible confession to make in front of Gordon.
Yo, even if you're the biggest Vanessa Kirby simp out there, even you've got to admit that this is out of bucket. You want to know what this looks like to me? This looks like the guy she tells you not to worry about. And we're talking about Pedro Pascal here,
Miles
so
Morales says LMAO.
Would already be.
Some of the best men in the world, so they don't count.
Miles Morales says
The more
AYOO.
this floating around, the more I hope that whoever Vanessa Kirby's dating, I really hope he's a proud member of the Cucks Life Matter movement. Because if he's not, then man do I feel bad for him. Don't get it twisted. There's a huge difference
Miles
between
Morales says
friendships
what I am
and
looking
straight up
at.
disrespecting your husband. Because if you told me that these two were dating or were married, I'd believe you. These types of sus interactions should only be considered as normal in two types of relationships. One, a relationship where you're a cuck, or
Miles
two,
Morales
a
says,
relationship
oh
where
nah.
you're dating a no-wife girl. Because let's be honest, guys, we all know that in these kind of relationships, when you're dating a no-wife girl, you probably call her on the phone and you're like, hey honey, how's work? And then your girlfriend's picking up and saying, yeah, I'm working so hard right now, while the one's behind her and doing something sus to them.
Miles
Let's be
Morales
honest,
says
but the
ain't
clips
no
we've
way.
seen so far clearly show Pedro and Vanessa acting sus toward one another, consensually. And I'm gonna go as far as to say that it's actually Vanessa initiating most of the time and acting sus toward Pedro, meaning she's actually the one disrespecting her husband. But make no mistake, I've seen some Pedro Pascal
Actually,
sims
you're right.
try to
He's not
craft a
wrong.
false...
Remember, for the cheating to happen, the so-called partner has to initiate, or have to be part of it. They can't just come out of nowhere. So remember, the vampire can't come in your house unless someone invites it in. Remember that. So no matter how mad you are at someone, if remember, I won't be too mad at Pedro. Don't be too mad at him. Be mad at the wife who's allowing this to happen.
Brightroclose says, is there something going on behind the scenes?
Most likely. There's no way, because that's too affectionate. Like, I understand they're doing like a movie. I know they're trying to promote said movie. But there's a limit where the realism begins and the fiction ends. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa.
So for her to be doing this, no, because let's flip it around. Let's just say it was Pedro doing this, and he was the one married with a standby. Standby. I'm going to check. All right, wait. Let me see. I just saw you, Jay.
Miles
Sorry
Morales
about that, bro.
says they just acting the part, gang.
Hold on, Jay. What did I step into? You should always worry if it is Pedro. Yeah, see, Jay gets it. Isn't she married? Yeah, she's married. I'm sorry I didn't see your message over there, Jay, on Instagram. I'm so bad. My bad, bro. But yeah, they just acting the part. No. There's acting the part. There's acting the part and doing an interview. You're not supposed to act like this outside the movie. This is why there's a lot of stank about this, because it was the other way around with Pedro doing this, and he was married with a pregnant girlfriend. Best believe his whole shit would have been done. But because she's the one pregnant, she's the one engaging, and he's just a so-called anxiety-ridden individual, it puts this weird stank on this, where something feels not right about this. It feels like he's just getting away with this because we can't call him out because he has a anxiety what do you call it, driven like issue. So if we point it out, we're being hateful in some fucking way because there's a bunch of people who claim they have anxiety all the time. This is a 50-year-old man. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. She's in a relationship with someone and pregnant. Yes. So that's what makes this wild. Plus, if he was just a normal dude who doesn't claim codependency and any of that nonsense, I bet you right now, it was like The Rock, Keanu Reeves, Idris Elba, any of these people, they would have been destroyed. Shit, it was what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Miles
Tom Cruise,
Morales says, "Oh no."
Trouble. They would have been in trouble. I understand acting the part. I get that. But this is way too affectionate outside of the movie. That's crazy. No. This is why a lot of people are pointing this out. This is not one guy. This is like the 50th person who's pointing this out on YouTube. This is crazy.
Narrative by saying that it's Vanessa harassing Pedro and that she's the one getting handsy with him. But that's just not
true.
The sus
interaction. Just to be clear, this incident is not happening just with her. This is happening with her and several other women at around the same time, but different times of his casting, his auditions, his interviews. This is not the one time. This is like this 50th time that people are bringing up him touching women every 5 seconds, touching their hand, touching their side, pulling them close, X, Y, and Z. Because if this was any normal dude, he would have been canceled instantly.
Between Pedro and Vanessa prompted some people to notice some kind of weird pattern between Pedro and his co-workers. Throughout the years, Pedro has been seen acting very handsy with his co-workers, to the point where even he had to step in at some point to explain why he loves to touch people.
Miles Morales says, "I see your point."
The reason why he's so handsy with other people is because it helps him with his anxiety.
Bullshit!
Now, I want you to remember this explanation as we explore the following next clips, starting with this one. This clip was taken during Comic-Con, where Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal were answering some of the audience's questions. So, let's pay attention to what happens randomly. Now look, you can be the biggest Pedro Pascal simp out there, okay? But I'm pleading with you. Please leave your biased mind for a second, okay? Just leave it behind for a second, because without any context, well, it looks kinda off. It looks kinda sus. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why that is. The only reason why people are saying this looks normal...
Just to make something clear, I don't hate the man. I don't know the man like that, anything like that. I just know that he's an actor. I'm pretty sure he's a decent actor and all that stuff. But the problem isn't that his acting. This is not critiquing of his acting. This is a critiquing of his behavior, because this is a problem how a bunch of men has gotten in trouble for much worse and lost everything over a tweet, over a misunderstanding, or a hug. Do you know how many people or how many these so-called victims come up to like these meet and greets at like Comic-Con and stuff and said, "Oh, that one actor from that big franchise squeezed my shoulder a little too hard. I feel attacked." You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. But this dude is everywhere. Everywhere. You can't escape this man. And somehow he's doing this and he's not being reprimanded for it. But that's crazy. There are more men who have lost more
for much worse. I'm telling you.
This is wholesome. This is what friends do, is because we're talking about Pedro Pascal here. Now, let's play a fun random game for a second. Let's say you're a hard worker who works in an office.
Note, remember, Johnny Depp almost lost virtually everything while he was in a relationship with his at the time girlfriend, and people was giving him a bunch of hell. This dude is single and not with no one. He's doing this with someone who's married.
Or you work at McDonald's and you know a coworker of the opposite gender with who you get along with. And let's say randomly, you look like this. Let's say you look like this. What do you think would happen if you randomly went to the coworker you get along with and did this?
Did that? You will lose everything.
What would happen. I'm going to roleplay and reenact the whole situation. Let's say I'm the woman coworker who you get along with, and you be out there looking like this, and out of nowhere, you decide to grab my arm. Well, this is what would happen. Yo, smash like and subscribe if you know I'm spitting facts here. Now, I already know I'm gonna get some nerd emojis in my comment section who are going to say stuff like,
well, actually, Pedro probably already warned Vanessa about his anxiety problems, and she's clearly understanding of him.
Okay, now let's play this funny game one more time then. Let's say you look like this, and you go to your coworker and say,
Yes.
By the way, sometimes I get anxiety attacks, and touching other people, it makes me feel better. Oh, your beautiful eyes, they're causing an anxiety attack for me right now. Can I touch you?
You wanna know what would happen if you were to do that? 1, you get a
jail.
restraining order. 2, you get a Me Too statement written about you on Twitter. And 3, you get ducks on a T-app. But I do wanna make this clear. As someone whose aim is to be as unbiased as possible, and as someone who loves Pedro Pascal as an actor, even I have to admit that if this wasn't Pedro
Miles
Pascal,
Morales says, "Oh my God, LMAO."
This just looks off. And
Bright
here's the thing,
Roclo
guys.
says
We have to be
LMAO.
honest with ourselves. You can love a YouTuber, you can love an actor, and you can appreciate their work, but we have to remember that we don't truly know who they are off camera. And if you think you do, well, congratulations, you're being parasocial. Even the most wholesome YouTubers can turn out to be some of the creepiest people in real life. And we've seen it happen over and over again. Even if you're a fan of a YouTuber or an actor, it's always important to criticize them when you see them do something sus. So even if you're the biggest Pedro Pascal fan, you should be able to look at this clip and be like, yeah, you know what? This looks kind of weird, but
Miles Morales says this guy is funny.
He's got anxiety and touching people helps him. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But one clip is not enough to draw any kind of conclusions anyway. So let's move on to the next
Just to
clip.
let you guys know, if you guys want to know who this guy is, his name is Darth Vader. Darth Vader, like, you know, like Darth Vader, but he put F, is it Vader? He put an F for Vader. Oh, there! Fuck! Yes, it was this video. Shit, I wish I could zoom in for y'all. For those on the phone, let me do this. Hold on. Let me zoom this. So, Pedro was on the Hollywood Strip or some shit. I think that's what they call it in California, where they, like, press their hands in. And I think Willem Dafoe was pushing his hands in because it was, I think, in honor of him. And I think Pedro was there or something. While doing it, I think Willem Dafoe had a girlfriend girlfriend or wife. I think it was his girlfriend. And she's right behind him. Pedro turns to her and swipes her chin.
Benefit of the doubt, but one clip is not enough to draw any kind of conclusions anyway. So let's move on to the next clip.
There it is. Look, this is, I know it's got kind of shade, but where my mouse is, she's right here. Pedro's kind of off around here. You'll see him in a second. But she is right here. Willem Dafoe's doing his thing, just putting in stuff. This is Willem Dafoe's, I think, girlfriend and or wife. I think they're girlfriend and boyfriend, if I remember right. And Pedro's right here. Watch this. Look, he gets up. He's going to turn to the girlfriend and touch her chin. Right there. Right there. Throw this man. Right in front of this man. I swear to God, we're fighting. I will fight this man on the site. Like, what the fuck you doing, bro? What are you doing? What the fuck? No.
Miles Morales says, "Oh no."
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
Bright Roclo says, "Crazy work."
Let me zoom in even more for you guys. Let me see if I can get close. There we go. Hold on. Let me zoom in. There we go. Yep, his hands right on her chin, and then look, he's trying like, what the fuck?
What?
That's crazy.
Okay.
Now I know some of you gonna say
Miles Morales says, what is bro doing?
like, okay, I know some of you may say or think, but it's just harmless. He's just being a bit affectionate or whatever. I get that, but you have to put in context. If it was any other normal dude, they'll start fighting, or he'll at least point out like, "What the fuck you doing, bro?" That's it. I'm telling you, this would not go well if this was like normal people.
Hey guys, you see what I'm saying though? Pedro Pascal fans will say that whatever happened here is normal. This is what friends do. Like, come on, bruh. I know we're all smart here. I know we can all agree here, even the biggest Sims here, even the biggest Pedro Pascal Sims here, can agree that this, without any context, is straight up sus. Why are we randomly doing the Riz chin move? Why are we doing that? You wanna know what we're dealing with here, guys? This is literally the meme. You know the HR meme? This one, where it's like, if it's Pedro Pascal at the top, it's seen as normal, it's seen as cute, it's seen as wholesome. But if you've got a clap face like this, mark my words, if you decide to randomly do the Riz chin move on a random female coworker like this,
Miles Morales says this gotta be illegal.
Yep.
You're gonna get smacked so hard, you're gonna end up looking mentally challenged. You're gonna end up looking like Cartman from the Special Olympics episode. It's also
I want to say the word illegal. I don't think it will be illegal, but it would fall under the idea of some type of SA harassment. Somewhere down the line. I'm dead serious. He's not wrong though.
With a second married woman. But here's my personal stance when it comes to everything we've seen so far. Do some of Pedro Pascal's interactions with his coworkers seem a little bit off? Yeah, 1,000,000%. But are those creepy interactions enough to start making predatory Pascal woman tier lists?
Probably not.
Are those creepy interactions
Probably
enough
not. I don't think these videos are enough to say that he's doing something evil. But it's gonna get to a point where we're gonna catch him do something that he can't escape from. I'm dead serious.
Start calling Pedro Pascal Pedro Pascal? Which, by the way, is a crazy nickname to give someone. Well, personally, I don't think so. Because every handsy interaction we've seen between Pedro and his coworkers has been consensual. Or at the very least, both sides are seen to be smiling. And to this very day, we still don't have a single Me Too statement against Pedro Pascal. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's fair to start calling him Pedro Pascal. Now, is it fair for people to say that Pedro gives them the heebie-jeebies? Yeah, because even I get the heebie-jeebies when I see stuff like this. But we are talking about Pedro Pascal here, and we have to remember that touching people helps him with his anxiety. But when I start to look at clips like this, I'm sorry, but the dokes within me is slowly starting to wake up. Some sus going on here. But I can't prove it. But now let's look at another clip with Sabrina Carpenter and Pedro Pascal. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Hey, y'all seeing this? He's literally doing the little poopity scoop. He's almost doing the poopity scoop.
Bro, we almost got him. Bros. We almost got him. If he just was like a half an inch in, it would have been over. I'm dead serious. While she's singing, you know how thrown off she would have been? If she touched her side while she was singing, it would have been over. He caught himself. He's about to slip up, boys. We almost close. We close.
He's stopping himself last second. Does this look like an anxiety attack to you guys? Because to me, this looks like a GAT attack, not an anxiety attack. I think I've replayed this clip 20 times, not only because of the Sabrina's GAT, but also because I'm trying to figure out what Pedro's
Bright
doing in this clip.
says he locked in LOL.
To me,
he locked
it looks
it
like
at the
Pedro's
last
just trying to get some ass for that anxiety. Hey, once again, the dokes within me
Get
is
some
waking up. Like, some sus going on here. Like, to me, it looks like my man's trying to get some cheeks for that anxianxiety. But I can't prove it. But because of these weird
I'm sorry.
Miles Morales says LMAO.
Bro's funny because his accent. I gotta pretend. His accent is funny.
Pedro on social media. People started criticizing him, and some other people started memeing him. And that is a pretty crazy meme. But even though this meme in particular is hilarious, it's not actually based on facts. You see, when Pedro's got anxiety, he doesn't only act sus toward female coworkers. He acts sus toward anyone. He doesn't discriminate. Obviously, the purpose of these memes is to strengthen the argument that Pedro is using his anxiety to only be sus and be handsy with hot
Is that the scene? Is that the scene with Peter when? Is that the scene with Peter when he thinks he was SA'd by the
by the doctor when he was giving him a prostate exam.
Miles Morales says bro was bricked.
Bro was bricked.
When that's just not true, and he's actually being handsy with anyone, male or female. But make no mistake, I've seen some brain-dead people on the other side of the equation, literally some people who collect disability checks for a living, saying stuff like, oh, Pedro's gay, so it doesn't matter if he's handsy with women.
There it is! There it is! There it is! And that's what I'm telling you right now, that's the problem for me. That's a huge issue. Because he's on the other side of the fence, that makes it okay. What? Are you serious? Oh my god.
Sorry, I just had to decrease my IQ to the same level of whoever wrote that brain-dead comment. Yo, I'm not even gonna address the whole gay equals I can touch anyone from the opposite gender. I'm not even gonna address that, but I'm just gonna ask you this question. How do you know Pedro's gay? Because as far as I'm concerned, Pedro to this very day...
Yes, how do you know that? He never declared that. How do you know that? If he didn't declare it, how do you know that? And even if he did, that still is not a good enough excuse.
That he's gay and he's never come out. You're just assuming. For all we know, he could be bi. And anyone who's gay or lesbian watching this video right now will agree that the last kind of person you want calling your partner baby or touching your partner's pregnant belly is someone who's bi. Because let's be honest, guys, but for bis, cheeks are cheeks. And for them, it's a free buffet. Don't matter if you're a guy or a girl. I've also seen some cooked dokes memes like this one where it's like, oh, I wonder why Paige was never touching Bella Ramsey when he's having an anxiety attack. And of course, I understand the meaning of the joke. It's like, oh, Bella Ramsey looks clapped, and he only...
Well, that answers your question, right?
Miles Morales says bro is not like that.
Oh, shit. That answers your question right there. Well, she's in her 20s, but, like, I think she's, what, 23? I think 23, 24. I think she's even between 22 or 24.
He goes for attractive woman. That's like the whole argument behind the meme, right? When it's actually a good thing that he never touched Bella Ramsey if you think about it. They're 30 years apart. It would actually be worse if he actually did do something sus with her. If he actually was handsy with her. Because then we'd actually have a solid argument for Diddy behavior or for Leonardo da Vinci... DiCaprio,
Miles Morales says no would dare even touch her.
He said Da Vinci.
I think we live in a world where PDF files go unpunished. I think we live in a world that might be controlled by PDF files. I mean, we've all seen what happened with the Epstein files. Absolutely disgusting what's happening there. And because of these new tensions, new controversies, I genuinely feel like people are just very cautious nowadays, especially when it comes to directors and actors within Hollywood, to the point where if they see them acting sus, doing something that feels off, they're
Miles
going to call it
Morales
out.
says
And
no one even want anyways.
reach conclusions maybe too
You're not
fast
wrong.
sometimes. Do I personally think that Pedro is 100% a creep, 100% PDF file? Obviously not. I don't think there's enough concrete evidence to even conclude that. And unless there's a Me Too statement that comes out, I'm not ready to call him a PDF file just yet. I'm not ready to call him Pedro Pascal just yet. But anyways, I don't know about you guys, but I'm having an anxiety attack right now, so smash like and subscribe, or I'm gonna touch your gat tonight.
Oh my god. This is wild, man. I don't know, man. Dude's funny though.
Brightroclose says what?
Dude is funny. Disgusting. You got what? Who?
I was wrong about Ray, because everything surrounding this girl, who, let's be honest here, could be mistaken as an SCP entity in this girl's
Damn.
picture of hers, well,
the
everything
SCP.
surrounding her is way worse than I originally thought. In fact, ever since I uploaded my first
Just to be clear, guys, this is the last video, and then we're gonna go play Peak.
video on her, a whole lot of new creepy developments have come up,
Brightroclose says
ranging from
SCP
mentally
is
unwell
crazy
people
work.
doxing
Right?
her and harassing her whole family, to one of this girl's most dedicated PDFL groomer supporters desperately trying to convince us that
Miles
he's a
Morales
victim,
says
that the
Master is
teenager
having
girl
the
he was
time of his
obsessed
life.
with is a
This
disgusting
is
monster
funny.
who manipulated him, and that she's the one who tried to force him to smash her when she was only 17. So let me get this straight. You're expecting us to believe that this musty old man, who literally looks like he's pushing 30 or 40 years old, someone who was so obsessed with a teenager that he literally took his time to crop cropped 50 pictures of said teenager on one of his TikTok videos and called said teenager a kitten months before she turned 18 years old. But are we really meant to feel bad for this crusty old man who literally stalks minors for a living and who literally believes that stalking is a sign of love? But now that he's crashing out in the DMs and leaking DMs between him and the girl to try to convince us that he was manipulated by a 17-year-old girl and that she's the one who wanted to smash him, whereas he definitely didn't. We're now expected
Miles
to believe
Morales
that he was
says
the
I
victim
don't
all
want to
along,
call you
but
master
nah,
anymore.
Don't worry, guys. This old man who's literally calling teenagers kittens and who's literally taking his sweet time cropping 50 pictures of teenagers on his TikTok videos. Well, you know what, guys? According to him, he's just misunderstood, and we got it all wrong, guys, because he's definitely just an innocent, wholesome, sweet little pea. But like I said, guys, there are a
Miles
lot of
Morales
creepy,
says I will call you
disgusting, and absolutely
Artextric from now
hilarious
on.
new developments we have to talk about in today's video. Because to top it all off, I want us to talk about what Ray's been up to ever since she started making sus content on the web, which includes
What's her name? Her name? Wait, what's her name? Ray? That's her name? Okay.
Response from Ray herself, where she discusses the many controversies that she's involved with that we talked about in my last video. But first, here's a quick 20-second recap for those who missed my first video, and for those who need a quick refresher as to who we're talking about today. This e-girl is known as Ray. Not necessarily because that's her real name, but people seem to call her Ray because she's racist. In fact, she went viral in 2024 when she got exposed for a bunch of wicked things. Wicked things such as being exposed for being a true gamer girl from the 1940s, to Ray herself admitting that she used to sell her own cheese pizza on Roblox when she used to be a teenager, not only to 30-year-old creeps, but also allegedly to kids. Because let's be honest here, but most people who play Roblox, it's kids. But Ray also got exposed for calling other girls
Miles Morales says
calling
what?
them racial and for telling them to go oof themselves, which is personally hilarious.
Brightro Close says you would be so proud.
Circulating on the internet,
Yeah,
where,
it'd be so
well, I'm gonna be honest here, where you literally look like an Elden Ring randomly generated character. Well, personally, I wouldn't be calling other people ugly. But in my last video, I gave some good logical reasons that might explain how Ray became this mentally unstable, unhinged, edgy person. Because I'm gonna be real here,
Miles
guys.
Morales
I know we
says,
can all
damn.
agree when I say that most teenagers don't start selling cheese pizza on Roblox, they don't start fantasizing about being by PDF files, and they definitely don't start promoting animal
Miles Morales says she
nowhere.
looks like a yokai.
99% of the time when we're dealing with a kid like that, we're dealing with a kid who had a traumatic childhood. And unfortunately for Ray, that's exactly what happened to her. I mean, when you've literally got countless creeps stalking you, like this kitten guy, or when you've literally got PD with over 50 victims under their belt who DM you on Discord even though they're pushing 30 years old and who manipulate you into
Close says nah bro said SCPLMAO.
Referring to how this creep who goes by the name Dagger convinced Ray to pretend to be a kid or a teenager as they were texting sus stuff to one another, which is hilarious to me because at the time in 2024 when Dagger was texting her, Ray actually was a teenager. So I don't know what kind of role-playing Dagger was doing over there, but I think you guys understand now when I said that Ray's childhood was completely messed up. So it doesn't really surprise me that she turned out to be this creepy, mentally ill, edgy person. Long story short, my last video focused on the reasons that made a 17-year-old teenager start an OF minutes after turning 18. But now that we're all caught up, let's start with a huge update on everybody's favorite creep, Mr. I Call Teenagers Kittens and crop 50 pictures of them. This creep's name is Vampire Daddy Evil. And here's the thing, guys, but if you willingly call yourself Vampire Daddy Evil, well, chances are we're dealing with someone who's mentally challenged. But contrary to what you might think, I'm not here just trying to cook this PDF file. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm actually speaking facts. Because a few days ago,
Miles
Vampire
Morales
Daddy
says those files are just showing who they are.
Absolutely unhinged clip over here, and well, I'm just gonna let the clip do the talking.
Brightro Close says oh that's an apple.
Yep. Oh god.
Now tell me that this is not the first thing you'd see if you enter the
Jesus fucking
sped classroom by accident. But you want to know what the most shocking thing about this guy is? It's the fact that there are unironically girls who ship him, who defend him, and who call him a Giga Chad. I'm sorry guys, but I know we're not drooling over 30-year-olds who literally stalk teenagers for a living in the big 2025.
Miles
Giga
Morales
Chad?
says,
Really?
dear God.
I'm gonna have to personally disagree with that statement, because personally, to me, when I look at a video like this, to me, this doesn't scream Giga Chad. To me, this screams, I've got 10 terabytes of sus content on my hard drive, please don't investigate me. And I want to make sure you guys understand, I'm not nitpicking. I didn't like look for 10 hours straight to like find a weird video of him where he looks mentally disabled. No, in every single one of his videos, he always looks not only chopped, but he also looks like he's the complete opposite of a Giga Chad. I mean, let me just move my camera over here for a second and let's pick a random video from him. Let's take
Miles Morales
this one.
says he's kind of weird.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you see what I see? To me, I'm not like, wow, this gives me some serious GigaChat energy. No, to me, when I look at this just makes me want to apologize and tell him, bro, I'm sorry, I just don't have any change.
Miles Morales says you.
And then the guy literally unironically puts the caption, I can fix you. Bro, first of all, fix your hair with some shampoo. But the reason as to why I'm going ham here is because it honestly shocks me that in the big 2025, we've got desperate, thirsty people who are literally romanticizing creeps who literally prey on teenagers. I've seen vampire daddy defenders, even in my own comment section, saying stuff like, it's actually not that weird. The age of consent in my country is 12 years old. Bro,
Miles Morales says, what is he even trying to do?
Clapping baby Patrick's cheeks, and I'm gonna personally hope that you rot in a jail cell for life. And here's the thing, guys. Even if the age of clapping in your state is 16, I know we can all agree when I say that someone who's literally a
Miles
decade
Morales
older than
says what?
Who he's been stalking for months, and whose pictures he's been saving and taking his sweet time cropping on his phone. But not only that, but someone who's also out there publicly reposting these kind of
Miles Morales says the consent is what?
Videos. Let's click on one, for example, this one. Dating an age player is so fun. Like, what do you mean I can pretend to be a kid and call you? I think I just contracted AIDS. Cause what the f did I just read? You wanna know someone else who was into H playing with Ray? Our old friend Dagger over here, who was literally getting excited calling Ray an underripe banana. Except Ray actually wasn't an underripe banana when they were texting and they weren't H playing at all. But when you're seeing all these red flags about Vampire Daddy being combined together, red flags such as Vampire Daddy literally reposting these kind of disgusting, creepy videos, like, you know how content can be family friendly? I feel like content like this is predator friendly. Like, all of this seems to be predator friendly as a matter of fact, but red flags such as Vampire Daddy cropping 50 pictures of kids, red flags such as him literally admitting to stalking people, literally thinking that stalking according to him is a sign of love. I mean, you click on any of this guy's videos and they all seem to be signs that he's a danger to society.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying though? Like, I click on a random video of his, and suddenly, I've got a picture of him being pregnant with a 17-year-old girl on my screen. But after seeing all these clear red flags, even if the age of clapping in your state is 6-year-old, I know we can all agree that someone like Vampire Daddy needs to stay far away from 17-year-olds. Smash like and subscribe if you agree. But let's address the elephant inside of my cheeks. I've seen a lot of Vampire Daddy defenders saying... Yo, if I say daddy one more time, I'm about to crash out. Yo, I know it's Pride Month and everything, but man, I ain't gay. But I've seen Vampire Daddy defenders saying stuff like, he's clearly just rage baiting. You guys are getting triggered for some harmless, edgy jokes. And of course, when you see videos like this, when you see people calling out Vampire Diddy, rightfully so, by saying stuff like, Vampire Diddy evil, after getting with a mentally ill, freshly girl. He's a decade older than her.
Oh, okay. We need to stop this, because, like, after a while, TikTok's gonna jump on this. He said way too much on that. I'm sorry. I want to keep going, but I know TikTok's gonna lose it. I want to keep this going.
Miles Morales says yeah.
Let me see. It's just too much. And I just realized it's 20 minutes straight. Why you must always gatekeep? No, not that one.
Miles Morales says that was disgusting.
Yeah. Let's see. Crucible? Alien Crucible.
Brightroclose says Monty.
Oh, you want to see Monty? We'll do one Monty, I guess. He's usually very short. Yeah, we'll do Monty.
Miles Morales says Naruto episode.
Let's see here. Monty. Is it Monty with an E or I? I think it's an I.
Miles Morales says let's watch Naruto.
No, I can't do that, sorry. I cannot do that because of obvious TikTok will come after my punk ass.
Miles Morales says amen.
Let's see here. I'll put on Monty instead. Call it a day after that.
Miles Morales says you definitely know how TikTok works.
Yeah, TikTok's a piece of shit. Hey. Look. Alright, night, Bob. Appreciate you, bro. Okay. How do you spell this dude's name? I think I'm spelling it wrong. Monty. I typed in exactly what you put in, but it's not popping up.
Miles Morales says ALR bye dog, I'll catch you on the flip side.
Alright, bro.
Brightro Close says Monty Sensei.
Sensei, that's why, okay. Well, all the times I've watched it, I never really bothered to put in the actual name. Okay, let's see. Stream Toy says keep animes Japanese. Why should always gatekeep? Will Smith theme. What? Anime versus global audience.
There's a misconception with some of my previous videos that some are just not getting. When I say too much Western influence,
Brightro Close says bye Miles.
The downfall of anime, people are misunderstanding me saying things like, but this anime was inspired by this, and this character was inspired by that. And that alone lets me know they're not listening to the whole video, if at all, and completely missing the point.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly.
I don't mean a Japanese creator getting inspired by the movie, let's say Rocky, of a true underdog story coming from the bottom, but through hard work, struggle, and immense dedication rises to the top, then sees that and wants to tell their own underdog story. Or seeing Star Wars of how Luke Skywalker lost his arm in Empire Strikes Back, truly displaying the fall of the hero, then makes the greatest comeback of all in Return of the Jedi, becoming a better hero because of it. And as they watch that, they now want to tell their own comeback story. That's not what I mean. What I mean is a mangaka working on their own story, but in attempts to appease this new class of Western elites ruled by political correctness, the editor or studio head tells them, don't include that joke or comedy gag because they find that offensive. This scene is too violent, so let's tone it down a bit. They don't like attractive characters over there, so ugly it up a little. Don't include so much fan service. Have the dialogue be conducted in a more westernized way. Subtly reduce the Japanese signature look anime has. Put some representation in there because Western audiences can't enjoy anything unless they relate to a character on a surface level.
Wait, I've got a better idea.
Matter of fact, let's erode everything about Japanese culture and art because we're chasing that Western dollar, and here are the guidelines they give us constantly. Removing everything about anime true anime fans love, whether it be Western or Japan. Of course, there's influences from many classic films that Hollywood created when Hollywood was good, as the GOAT John O'Donnell said.
One of our directors, Koichi Ohata, for example, who did the very successful MD Geist program, has admitted that he looks at American shows such as Robotech, Star Wars, Aliens. He tries to learn from those and create a cartoon vision, which then comes back to America, so it's like an echo of our mass culture. So within the catalog of Japanese animation are quite a lot of programs which are suitable. They're science fiction, they're action, maybe they're comedy.
From Cowboy Bebop having an episode inspired by aliens, where this creature is haunting the ship and Spike has to take it out. Hell, the Western Clint Eastwood themes help shape the makeup of that show as a space western. Kill la Kill referencing aliens themselves. Outlander having a chase scene inspired by Star Wars. Area Zayran, where it's safe to say the alien popping out of the mouth is a direct alien's influences, seemingly. And don't even get me started on the many Terminator references with Dirty Parrot indirectly joking about it. And Dragon Ball not only referencing Terminator, but Arnold himself.
I am the god assigned to this floor. You must get past me to proceed upstairs.
Side note, we just don't foster this type of talent and hone the skills required to make these timeless films anymore. How far we have fallen, hopefully you get my point. All of this versus the now politically correct quotas that filters out creativity. I've recently seen a clip of the creator of Tom and Jerry and many classic cartoons discussing how this was creeping in back in the 80s.
But the times, the tastes, and the sensibilities have changed.
Why should the female scream?
She just stopped screaming.
Why did you feel the need to have a host? I think we feel the need for an adult figure.
Well,
I mean, it isn't the school.
Well, the host controls...
Why do you call him a host?
The people who pick children's programs for the networks, like NBC's Phyllis Tucker Vincent and her aides, insist that Barbera stick to their rules. No racial or sexual stereotypes, few words of more than one syllable, and above all, easy with the violence.
I have one comment about your military school guys. No minority kids. That's the other thing you could even think about. In today's military schools, there's girls.
Oh my God.
Good heavens.
Now just imagine that cranked up 1,000,000 times more today.
This all results in a kind of a policing, which is necessary, and results in a kind of a leveling off of the kind of entertainment. It's all the same, it seems to me. The way they rationalize, they say anything that can be imitated by a child, we don't want to see. Therefore, we don't even throw pies in anybody's faces anymore. See, there's something that happens to people. They come into the studio, they have never worked in the animation business before, they never created anything, but some kind of a miracle happens. Within 2 weeks, they're total authorities. I mean, they can draw, they can pick voices, they can direct the stuff, and what are you going to do?
These people don't care about facilitating creativity or talent. All they're concerned with is this politically correct? Let's not entertain, but only pander to socially conditioned sensibilities. Which leads to this recently edited viral promotion of a new cyberpunk manga coming out, at first saying, "The lolly is back," to now saying, "Rebecca is back." And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. As this user said, "We've seen what you did."
Hey, what the hell, man? I see you!
They're not editing that out for a true anime fan to cheer Studio Trigger on when fighting back against CD Projekt Red to keep Rebecca in, saying themselves, "The lolly must stay."
I was one of the people on the creative team to actually vote Rebecca out of the original cast during pre-production, because what happened was that CD Projekt Red first got the character design for Rebecca, and they were like, she's a loli. Lolis don't exist in Night City. It doesn't fit the Cyberpunk 2077.
How the fuck would you know that? How would Loli not... How would that not exist? Given the war times we live in?
Aesthetic.
You fucking people.
But Trigger was like, no, the loli must stay. And
They're doing that for the global audience types who don't even know what a lolly is and can't distinguish between fiction and reality. So when I see this post from Netflix saying over 50% of users watch anime and 80 to 90% watch dub, this concerns me with many red flags. Now let me make this clear. There's nothing inherently wrong with watching dub. There's ones I prefer to watch dub. Cowboy Bebop, Black Lagoon, Darker Than Black, Ranma, a few other 90s animes. Even as much as it was censored, I don't mind Ocean Dub DBZ. The voice actor for Raditz killed that role.
You were born on the planet Vegeta. You are a space fighter, a Saiyan warrior, just like me. I see the fire in you, brother. You should come with us.
I don't know, bro. Personal preference is there's a reason why personal preference exists.
It is in your blood. You love to fight.
But with current English dub, there's generally a lack of effort, almost a sense of complacency. This is just a paycheck, so let me put minimal effort into it. They're very generic, and it's been that way for a while now, where the Japanese voice acting has maintained consistently a high quality level of standard for voice acting, where you can feel the heart and soul these actors put into their roles.
ちょっとお話しするかい？
ダメだ。あとは頼みます。
And also, and I'm not saying all for those that need a disclaimer for everything, there tends to be a pattern with current English dub only viewers, where they continuously shit on anime for being anime, yet still choose to engage with anime, constantly offended by tropes that have existed in anime for so many decades. As I've said before, they act like anime started 5 years ago. These are the types that think anime are kid cartoons, and through their constant complaints, they want to strip away from anime what makes it desirable, and turn it into the garbage trash produced in the West they fled from and sought refuge in anime for, but they're too stupid to realize the contradictions in their actions.
Turn your fucking brain off. Fuck you.
These are the types that can't handle dark themes in anime. getting upset at Goblin Slayer for daring to display what pure evil looks like, or this statement from a journalist who recently wrote about fragrant flowers blooms with dignity. The first episode is promising. It's a simple storyline that is enjoyable if it weren't for the flaws. I certainly hope there won't be more incidents like the harassment scene, or else I will have stronger words in the future. And the scene they're referring to is when the man comes to save and protect the girl, the love interest of the show, from some thugs looking to harass her. News alert, this type of act actually happens in the real world and is so tame to begin with, but with current sensibilities, you would think this was a scene straight out of Game of Thrones or something. Another is this article, Sailor Moon Top 10 Things That Didn't Age Well. This includes fan service, of course, which these activist-minded types cause World War III over, becoming extremely enraged whenever in the sight of, and also how it's now problematic that Tuxedo Mask comes to the rescue of Usagi numerous times, because the damsel in distress is a sexist trope modern audiences are offended by. Dragon Ball now being seen by new...
Yeah, but when these women are being harassed by an actual villain in real life, like a thug or something like that, and the men don't step in, guess what all the women who see the so-called video, if it's recorded, why don't you men step in? There's men there, why are you not doing nothing? What kind of men are you? I'm like, well, you said it's sexist to save a woman. It was in the cartoon, and these motherfuckers got superpowers. You guys had a problem. I'm just a regular dude. That guy had probably a knife on him, but
Brightroclose says true.
It's wild to me. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, if the life of the individual happens to be female, and somehow someone pulls out their phone, which 9 times out of 10 they do, and then there's a physicality issue with said female with another male who don't give a flying shit, and then there's other men who care about themselves, but have been knowing that if they were to step in, either two things are going to happen. They're going to stop the dude, and a lot of girls are going to write, or feminists are going to say, you know, she didn't need help. These men these days. And then if those men don't step in, those same women say, what kind of men are you? What? You just let that happen? Like that one bitch who was harassing a bunch of white men, and she got a brick hit the side of her face. We all know what I'm talking about, the brick girl. And then she said, all these men here seeing me getting harassed, and this dude took a brick and hit me the side of the face. That's crazy. I'm like, I don't know. Those men were pretty base if you think about it. You was harassing that man on the slightest. He didn't come to you. You came to him. And he kept on saying, leave him alone. And then when he took it to the level that you didn't like, you're expecting those men to go save you? Are you mad? Like, remember, think of it this way. Kevin Hart said something that's true. He made it as a joke. He said he made up a joke where a woman got punched in the face at a movies that he was taking her. Like, it was a date, and his date got punched in the face by some random dude for no reason. And they went back to the car, and he said in the car to her in the driver's seat, he's like, well, what can we do for that not to happen again? And the girl turns to Kevin and said, how dare you say that to me? I got punched by no reason by some random dude, and you said to me? He's like, listen. He said, listen. I understand where you're coming from, but put it in this perspective. If the dude didn't give a fuck about your face and you're pretty as shit and he decked you like that, what do you think he's going to do to me? He's like, you know what? Well, you put it that way.
Fans who discovered anime yesterday saying Bulma's depiction is offensive. One episode where Bulma flashed Roshi is a great reminder why new gen fans want to cancel Dragon Ball, including more about the many comedy gags in that show, from Goku tapping on private parts to determine who's a girl and boy.
Ah, stop it! What are you doing?
Oh, you are a boy.
Yes, I am.
Sorry, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Just so you know, the people in my village greet others by shaking hands.
Something that people understood was comedy, showcasing the ignorance, Goku being raised in the woods with no civilized skills, but for others, again, it's World War III. This user posting a clip from Rory Rock showcasing Nagi's beautiful backside, saying, was this scene really necessary?
Yes.
To this user flipping out over a Momo figurine. We as a society should be allowed to stone people for having interest in owning a statue of a teenage girl in nothing but her underwear, cause no way in hell was this made without the intention of marketing towards horny effing weirdos. Confirming those who can't distinguish between fiction and reality. They see teenage girl, I see anime character.
It's not fucking real.
Right. To this one, I recently came across of a new anime for this season, and this user describes it as, the new Poly Yuri anime opening is such a banger. Hello. With others responding correctly to it saying, it's a Yuri harem anime. Call it like that and not that shit of Poly. It's a harem. Stop imposing Western values on Eastern content, please. Poly is called a harem, you degenerate. Poly, bruh, is called harem. It's a harem series. Why make it more complicated with that nonsense? And in true fashion, whenever actual fans of any fandom offer criticism or feedback to correct that highlights the mishandling of entertainment that's misrepresented inaccurately, this user responds like a typical activist-minded person. Nazis found this thread. Good luck, sis. Just the same as Jamie Marchi and all the other global audience fake fan types.
If I'm making misogynists and Nazis angry, then I'm doing all right.
I swear to God, we gotta stop saying stupid shit like this because, let's be honest, Nazis are not watching these things. Think about it, like, if I don't like feminists, why would I go watch a feminist show and then complain about said feminist show? Like, if you're a Nazi and you don't like certain, like, minorities or whatever case may be, why the fuck are they watching said show? Why'd they even bother? A true racist is not someone who looks for a trouble. A true racist just don't want you in their presence. And if they can't remove you from said presence, they'll remove themselves from said presence. So I don't know why people say this stupid shit saying I'm making Nazis mad. I'm like, bro, let's be honest. Nazis are not, probably don't even know what most of these shows are half the time. Maybe some may know, but I'm pretty sure they're not watching it. They don't know. I really don't know. Because a true racist, psychology-wise, a true racist is not one who's trying to cause trouble. A true racist is one who's trying to remove said trouble, not for other people, but for themselves. Because they feel uncomfortable with that person in their presence. It's not what they say, it's not what they do. It's literally their whole everything. Their literal appearance, their presence, their essence bothers them, right? It doesn't have to be something you said or something you do. A true racist comes after you for your whole existence. So therefore, if they don't like you for your existence, if they can't remove you in a way they want to, they will remove themselves. That's how that works. So, like, for instance, if I'm some form of Nazi and I have Netflix for some odd reason, why the fuck am I watching any black show? Why the fuck am I watching any Asian show? Better yet, what most shows have a thumbnail on it. Once you see the thumbnail, you're gonna make a preconceived notion that that's not for me. I'm gonna watch something that I already know or something that appeals to me. Once it comes up with anything that's slightly mad, I leave. That's how they work. I don't know why these idiots think because you made an anime, they're gonna watch throughout the anime and find something they don't like to complain about something they don't like. They already don't like the Asian made thing, right? Why the fuck would they go watch the Asian made thing and look for Asian made problems or things that bother them to complain on the internet? What does that do for them? Nothing. That is dumb. I don't like how feminists work. Why the fuck am I watching a feminist show and upset at the feminist talking points? Especially if the show is known to be a feminist show. Even saying, like, if I don't like shonen shows and it has shonen tropes, why am I complaining about the shonen trope if I know it's a shonen show? Usually most shonen shows will tell you it's a shonen. There's a trailer and it will be tagged shonen. Whatever streaming service, they're usually tagged and show you the labels of what those shows are. So you have an indication of what you're looking at. Once you know that indication, you should not get fucking mad at watching said show. You know what you're walking into. Do not watch it. So when Jamie Marchi's up here saying this stupid shit, that shows how delusional you are, and that's just your way of seeing yourself as a form of I don't know, higher than thou individual. That doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not saying there's no racist people who are looking for trouble, but 9 times out of 10, a true racist is one who erase themselves from you, or they erase you from them. It's one of those two options. The ones that actually go and look for trouble, they're just insane. They're more insane. I find them more insane than the person who doesn't like minorities and just wants them out of their presence. at least they'll remove themselves and say, you know what, I don't like these things I'm seeing. I'm just gonna go. That's a better racist than someone who's looking for trouble. And they don't even let you know on it. They just leave. It's like, okay, I don't know if some of you may know this, but like, it's like one of those, when you're going on like a plane, or I don't know if this actually happens, but if you're going on a plane and you sit next to someone and they just get out of their chair and leave, they don't even argue. Like, you go in the plane, you look for a place to sit, you sit down, you sit next to someone, and they just choose to get up and go somewhere else. They didn't argue with you. They didn't say that's a true race. I would say true racist, but that's the mentality I would say in that sense. They'll get up and just leave and sit somewhere else. That's it. But the one who sits there and argues with the other person, unless they had a seat assigned to someone or that's a seat for them, I can see where the justification of the argument come in. But if you're just sitting there, you have no one with you, and you're sitting there, the other one's just sitting next to you, and you're trying to argue them why they shouldn't sit there, you're kind of insane. Just sit there, just sit there for the time you're there. You don't have to conversate with them. You don't have to make some small talk. Just sit there, stare out the window, sleep, where case it be, and then it'll be over. But you know.
Now, if I were to open a manga or anime shop, I would use the correct Japanese terms to categorize the many genres of manga and anime, not include Western terminology that breaks the immersive world that anime is. So when you enter it, you instantly realize there's a culture here that was built up for decades. Preserve it. And you might say, well, what if someone new is unfamiliar with the terms for different genres? Well, it's up to them if they have the will or interest to learn about it, not up for people to change it for them. You could say that's a form of gatekeeping. You either acclimate, assimilate, or leave.
It's that simple.
But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. You may say all of these examples are little things that don't matter, and I'm just being paranoid, stop concerning yourself with it. And that mentality has led to destroy so many properties already, to where you can argue is why anime is so popular now. These things add up, snowflakes one by one, adding to the avalanche that will eventually lead to the destruction of everything. It's that simple. Oh, and Rebecca is Lolly. Also, if you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, links in the description. If you love those Samurai Champloo.
I think I'm not gonna lie to you, I think is Fearin considered a lolly? I don't think so. Is she? I think Rebecca and Freeland are the only two characters that I've drawn that is in that particular genre.
Lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, and my music is definitely for you. And if you want to support me in the content I create,
Freeland, is she considered lolly?
My channel through memberships is much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think, peace.
Okay, I'm pretty much done for right now. I have to put more emphasis on how I'm gonna do this right. I understand the plain concepts with the coloring, but it doesn't look as realistic to me as it should be based on the here. I think we need to use some nuances of color to give it more of a realistic look, but I don't technically count her as one. She's an elf, but then again, I don't think she's not busty, but then again, she's like kind of normal sized, I think. I don't know. It's a weird one. And she's I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, with that said, I'm going to stop it from here. We're going to go play some Peak, because I know my mods wanted me to play some Peak, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. We had fun. I don't know if I'm going to share this, but I tried my best to get the color of this right. That's what I'm thinking. I think she's just short, thin, and that's it. But I don't think she comes off. She doesn't really say lolly to me, if anything. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. We're gonna go play Peak. If you care about that, we'll be playing it on YouTube, Twitch, maybe TikTok, but we'll see. Alright, I'll be back, guys.